Hi all, right back with more Conflict to Heroes. We just completed Solo Mission 1, this is Solo Mission 2, about to start. It's called Tank Hunt. There's the map, it's map 5 we use, so it's just a single map again. There's the mission track, and we'll go through these things in a minute. This one there, I had to, I don't know if I've got the smaller light on, it looks a bit duller on the way I'm looking at it. It's probably alright. I know when I look, sometimes I look at that and it looks darker than it is, so I'm sure it's alright. I'll have a look at it when we're finished anyway. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine, Grant. Okay, so yeah, big change to this mission then. Well, let's go through things. Let's have a look at what the story is. Solo Mission 2 Tank Hunt, November 31st, 1941, Tula, Russia. I was wounded last month, shot in the leg. The doctors deemed me fit to return to the front. Damn them. They sent me to a ruin of a city where I hear we are still fighting it out with the Soviets, block by block. I am in a group of veterans that has been tasked with guarding a supply convoy on its way to the front. However, we have spotted enemy movement ahead, including tanks. I'm sure they would like nothing more than to liberate our convoy of wagons. Damn them, they are not going to take our ersatz cafe rations. No matter how shitty they are. We have been given orders to set a tank ambush. Hopefully we and our wagons will get through unscathed. From the journal of Eric Bolsch. Okay, so there's kind of the story. So there's some tanks. The main gist of this is we've got to try and sabotage the tanks, really, which isn't easy. Now, our units start in a hidden state, which is something new. I was just reading a bit about that recently in the rules, actually, so that was quite timely. Although I'll probably need to look again and see how it works. So what's happening then? So the player command is the German. Like I say, that introduction mission, I think that's the only one you do is the Soviets, apart from there's 2 campaigns, like I say, one German campaign, and I think it's a smaller Soviet campaign. But so we are in command of the Germans, so the AI's the Soviets. Round 1 initiative is going to be Germans. German cap allocation per round is 6, so we're getting 2 more than we did last mission. Beginning victory points 1 to Soviet, so I've got them marked on the track. Action cards, all action bonus cards 02 to 05. Well, we had them the last time, and then it's also got 8 to 12, so action cards 8 to 12, and action card 20 and 40. So I've added them, and I've shuffled the deck up, and then found out I had to go and find. Well, we'll see that in a second. No, it's in here, isn't it? Yeah. The Germans received bogged down card 20 in round 1. This is the bogged down card. So this is to try and help against the tanks. Immobilize an enemy vehicle for the rest of the round. So, and it's a free activation of that. So try and make good use of that. So we start with that in our hand, and we get one card every round after. The Germans also receive the grenades weapon card. It can be used once by any unit. I remember posting a question about this because once we come to it, I'll find out because you lose the CC modifiers. Normally you get a CC modifier 4 if you're in the hex. Well, you don't get that here, but the strength of the actual grenades is a 4 anyway, and I think that was my confusion. And I remember posting a question, and I might need to go and look out that question just to find out what the benefit is. There was a good answer given, so I just can't remember what it was, so I'll maybe find that out. So we get 1 use of that throughout the scenario. Order cards 13 to 55. Well, last round we had, it was 11 to 55, I think. No, 15 to 55. So we've got cards 13 and 14 have been added this time. Map setup, map 5. Mission objective German wagons are an objective. So we've got to remember that any wagons are going to count as an objective for the... Well, they're an objective for either of us, but mainly to... Obviously, the Soviets, the AI will sometimes refer to mission objectives, so wagons are going to be involved. Adjusting difficulty, well, we're not going to do that, so let's just move on. Soviet AI forces, tank patrol. Set up the T-34A tank set up on row 12. 12, I want to say it's marked on the map there. That's along there. So, is that row there? I think it's right along that row there. Yeah, it would help if you showed us, Grant. Yeah, that row there. So they're gonna come in. They're gonna be set up there. Now we set up them first, so we can do that now actually. So for each tank, roll 2d6 and place the tank this many full hexes in from the west side of the map, which is the left. Tanks face the southern hex edge that is angled towards the map's centre. Tanks are placed before German setup. Right, so there's 3 of these, and here they are here. You see they're all quite powerful units. And you'll notice their defence value is ridiculous. So, yeah, it's kind of challenging this. So, yeah, I don't really remember. It was a long time ago since I played any of these games, really. Let's say I brushed myself up with the starting mission there a couple of times. But it's a long time ago since I played this, so yeah, we'll see. I can't remember how you try and go about this. But, okay, so 1, 2, and 3. So we might as well just get these rolled for now. I won't need to show any kind of dice rolls. So we'll get the first one. So on row 12, 2d6 in from the left. That does look quite dark, doesn't it? I'm sure it's fine, Grant. Right, the first one I've rolled is an 8, so quite far in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is there. Come out. Is that row 10? No, row 12, isn't it? Is it 12? Yeah, that's right. So he goes in there and he faces the centre, so it's going to be there like that. So that's him. And then the next one is an 8 as well. I was just wondering what happens if we get 2 in the winner. It doesn't say as well. Well, we know that they never stack, so I'm going to re-roll. They never want to stack, so I'll just re-roll. 6 this time. Right, where are they? So that'll be there. That's right down the centre. It would be, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not. There's 6 hexes on that side. So that will be like that. Not that it's a huge big deal anyway, that I don't think. Right, and then the final one is a 6 as well. It would be. Roll again. And that's an 8. Right. 4. Right, I've got that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one will face that way as well. Okay, so that's our 3 tanks set up. So then let's look at our forces then. So let's say we're set up hidden on or south of row 9, and we mark all hidden units with a rumoured enemy marker. So I'll set these up once I get this moved out of the way, because I'm kind of lacking in space a little bit. So, but just to show us, 1 tank hunter. Now it says down the bottom here that tank hunters are part of the monster tanks expansion counter sheet. Well, I've not got that. However, I do have a tank hunter. So I don't know if they added it at some point, or it is the same stats. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Now, actually, since I got this going and started up, and I was looking at the possibility of these expansions, and there was a guy in the UK selling, it looked like he was selling all his stuff. What I think he maybe done was he bought the game, because he was selling the game as well, but I think that might have been opened. Maybe not. But he was selling 3 expansions new, the smaller expansions. One was the Monster Tanks one, which is the one that I just mentioned. One was the Wrecks and Destruction. Now, that comes into the next mission, actually. Now, these are kind of optional things, but I want to say that some of the other scenarios that are built into the main 2-player game, which, remember, somebody has converted to be able to play solo, use some of these expansions. So I decided to be selling them at a really good price, so I decided to buy all 3. The other one was only a marsh map, which I don't think there is a solo mission for that. But I was buying the other 2 things from him anyway, so I thought, why not get all 3? And he done me a good deal and didn't charge me for the postage. So, yeah, so that's pretty good. So, yeah, but I do have that Tank Hunter, so I don't know whether you get more of them in the Monster Tanks expansion or whether that's some kind of misprint or not. I don't know. But we do have that, however. So, and then we've got 1 8cm mortar, 3 Pioneers, who are pretty good. Now you'll see most of these do have a blue attack rating, so obviously we kind of need that if we're going to try and do anything in the tanks, but I seem to recall it's tough to actually take them on, but anyway, we'll see. So it says hidden units cannot be the target of an AI order. Okay, so that's that. Now we've got some wagons. So we set up this wagon on G03. That's right at the south of the map. I'll show you in a bit. And then there's 2 other wagons that will come on through the mission. And they come in on G02 and they travel up the road and whatever. So, okay, so that's the units. So there's a look at the mission track. Counteractions, I could have a glance at it, I suppose. If all German units on the map are hidden, the AI passes and +1 to the mission track, +1 movement on the mission track. But it also states there as a note, remember that wagons cannot be hidden. So if a wagon is on the map, this counteraction is ignored. So, and remember, a wagon starts on the map. So, there you go. Mission orders, T-34 furthest from a wagon, move towards wagon. And there's a quick glance at the mission track. You can see all these hexes, wagons will move on, and they'll just move up the road. There's the 2 that the wagons will enter, and that's pretty much all there is. Nothing else happening there. Victory points. Right, the Soviets, which is the AI, they get 1 victory point immediately for each eliminated German wagon. So not German unit, but each German wagon, they get 1 victory point. They start with 1 victory point, remember? Now, how do we win then? Well, we get 1 victory point immediately for each eliminated Soviet, but remember there's only 3 of them and they're big tanks. And we also get 1 victory point immediately score for each wagon that leaves the map or is alive at the end of the mission. So yeah, good luck with that. I think I want to try and say we want to just try and distract the tanks and try and get these. I think this is more likely of scoring victory points than what that is. I think this is a tough one to take on, because like I said, I mean, their frontal defense is 19, and that's if they're out in the open. Our pioneer units, which are our main force, have got an attack rating of 3 against them. So, well, you're only rolling 2d6, so 3 against 19. That's 16 I would need off a 2d6, and yeah, that doesn't work. So you need to do something a bit more. You need to get into short range. Short range, I'll make that 6 against 19. Which again, still not enough. However, close combat then adds another 1, so that's 7 against, and then you use their flank move, the flank defense, which is 15. So there you go. So you kind of need to be in close combat to really take these guys on. So there we have it. Right, special rules. Wagons move. So right, for each wagon's move space, the mission marker advances to or passes. You'll notice they're all in they're all in yellow, so even if I skip by one, it will still trigger it. So for each wagon's move space, the mission advances or or passes, all wagons move 2 hexes each along the road leading to hex L10 number 2. So yeah, there's the situation with the wagons. This one starts here. The other 2 that enter will enter in this hex here throughout the mission, and then whenever it moves up this road onto here, and then I'm assuming the next move it makes moves it off, and that's where we would score a point. But remember, the tanks will maybe have something to say about that. And then off the map, well, it just says 2L10 and then off the map. I don't know if they need to move again when they hit L10, or if reaching L10 means that's them off the map. I would think they still needed to move one more hex, yeah. Okay, so wagons move through and even onto enemy units or smoke hexes. If a wagon cannot move because it is pinned due to being hit, it instead will attempt to rally. The player may never take any actions with a wagon, and wagons are never spent. Okay, mission track advancement. If all T-34A tanks are spent, the mission track does not advance. We'll need to remember this one. That's an easy one to miss, I think. So if all their tanks are spent, I think basically it's to avoid us just sitting there not passing, I think, and maybe trying to move the mission, trying to move the track. Well, that stops it, because if they're all spent, this won't move. Okay, and then right, so smoke. So here's an important part. The next 2, smoke and mines here. I'm not so sure about the mines, but smoke. Pioneer and the mortar may fire smoke. A hidden unit may fire smoke without revealing itself if it is not in line of sight of the AI. So we'll look into hidden units in a bit, I think. Basically, they stay hidden unless they're in line of sight. You can keep them hidden, you can move them about. I want to say that as soon as they're in line of sight of a vehicle, a tank, a non-infantry unit, shall we say, then they're revealed. If it was an infantry unit, which we're not playing with on this scenario, I think it's got to be in line of sight and within 2 hexes. I want to say that's what I seem to remember reading yesterday. But I'll have a closer look at that. So they can move about, and they can, obviously you can see there, they can lay smoke and stay hidden if they plan it properly. And then we've got mines. The tank hunter may pay the cost to attack, which is a 4 for him. There he's there. So he could pay a 4 and then lay some mines. To lay a mine in its hex. A hidden tank hunter may lay a mine without revealing itself if it is not in line of sight of the AI. If the hex the mine is laid in is not in the AI line of sight, then the mine is hidden. So that's a good one, but you just never know where they're going to move, really. Tank hunters are part of the Monster Tanks expansion counter sheet. If you do not have this counter, replace it with a Pioneer and note the 1 range to fire. Yeah, tank hunters. Yeah, just 1 of a range, so they've got to get up close. Okay. Like I say, well, we do have it, so we'll keep him in the game. And then it says grenades. Discard the grenade card after 1 use. So that's it. So I think smoke is something that we should try to use. Probably try to use the mines. It's a bit random maybe, because you could put it down and the tank could just... well, it wouldn't... The AI wouldn't avoid it. It would move through... It would move through the hex, I think. I don't think there's nothing here to tell me how that kind of works. But, well, to be honest, there might be something in the solo rules that will tell us that. So there's a quick glance at the map again. So I'll get this folded over. Unfortunately, well, it's GO2. It's probably, the information's probably on here, because I'd rather just fold this out the way, just to save myself some space. So hopefully we can get away with that. Yeah. Right, so we've got to decide where our units are going to be. So they can be on or south of row 9, which is that 8? Yeah, 9. So that's that road there. So just the row before that road that runs right through. So they're quite close to them. So what is the plan here? So and we have, let's say we've got 3 pioneers, the tank hunter, and the mortar. That's a 5 units. Now this wagon should be. Yeah, I should have put the wagon down before it's not telling me GO3. Yeah, it does. It does. It's going to help me tell me here. So GO3 is here. So there's a wagon. And you can see they can't attack or anything. That's wheeled movement they are. Now that means they get an extra 1 bonus. So that's why when they move them, we're going to move 2. But they only move through the mission track. We can't do anything to control them in any way. So what's the plan? Yeah, what is the plan? Well, let's find out for sure about hidden units, I think. Okay, first I was just checking if hidden unit, just differences in the rules maybe, but no, it's the same throughout. So the solo side, hidden units, the player's units may be hidden per the hidden units rules 10.0 from the main rules. For convenience, smart hidden units with a coin. Well, they've got us using these, using the rumoured enemy markers, so we'll just use them. We'll put them on top. AI act as if hidden units are not there until the unit is revealed per the hidden units rules. So I had a look at the version 3 of the rules for the main game. I didn't read through it all because there's quite a lot in the hidden units section. It is still section 10 in the new rules as well, so I'm just going to go with what I've got in my version 2. I didn't read anything there that looked like it had maybe changed any, so fingers crossed it's still the same. Hidden units do not have a face in, that's one thing to keep in mind, so if it is eventually revealed, it doesn't count on how we've got him faced here, doesn't really matter. When he's revealed, we can face him any way we want. Until they're revealed and placed on the map. This time the player may choose their facing. Hidden units are revealed if. Right, so here's the reasons where they could be revealed. Again, I'm reading out these rulebook, the 2nd edition rulebook, so hopefully it's the same as the 3rd. As things move along with this game, my plan is to print out the 3rd edition rules, I think, and the 3rd edition rules of the solo, and just kind of go with them. I know I've said that I don't want it, but they do look pretty. They do look better. But I've got issues with printer. I don't have any printer paper. I've got another printer which isn't here at the moment, and yeah, there's a few things. So I'll eventually get around to that. I could suppose put my tablet here and look at the rules on the tablet, but I prefer looking at the rule books when I'm playing the game. Anyway, right, so here's hidden units are revealed if a hidden unit takes an action. So hidden units are revealed immediately if they take any action other than hidden movement or stalling, even if out of enemy line of sight. It and all other hidden units in the same hex are immediately revealed and placed on the map. Cards may be played on a player's own hidden units, but doing so reveals them unless stated otherwise in the card's description. I feel like that is slightly different. Give me a sec. Alright, I've brought my tablet across with the latest version. Actually, I was wrong. It isn't in section 10, it's in section 11. The reason I thought it was 10, because in the 3rd edition solo rules, it still references section 10 under hidden units. I kind of thought that would be that version 3 of the solo rules would relate to version 3 of the 3rd edition of the main game, but unless that's just one of the misprints. Okay, so I was going to compare these slightly. So it says in the new rules, a hidden unit must be revealed when it performs any action other than stall, rally, hidden move, or a battle card hidden action. So what did it say there? It says until they're revealed. No, hang on. Hidden units are revealed immediately if they take any action other than hidden movement, stalling, even if out of enemy line of sight. It doesn't mention rally there though, so maybe that's a new thing. So they cancel rally and stay hidden. So there you go, there is a difference. yeah, I do want to get these rules sort of. Yeah, if I just been strong enough to just stick with the second edition rules, like I said I was going to, and then we wouldn't maybe have this bother because I could just read it out the book. But okay, right. Well, I'll try and do it. Try and do it with the third edition, but we'll see. We might make blunders if things are different. A hidden unit must be revealed when it occupies a hex with any non-hidden unit. Wheeled or tracked units occupy open terrain unless line of sight of any enemy. Yeah, so wheeled or tracked. If a wheeled or tracked unit, and remember we're up against 3 tracked units. If they occupy terrain in the line of sight, well, sorry, if we occupy open terrain in their line of sight, then we would be revealed. So I could be in here, fine. I could be hidden in here. If I was to move into there, or if I was to be in there, I'm not hidden because they've got line of sight on me, and that's that. This was the one. It says foot units occupy open terrain in line of sight and within 2 hexes of any enemy. So if it was an infantry unit, we would have to be within 2 in an open hex. But because we're up against 3 tracked units, then it doesn't matter about the distance. They just need to have us in a line of sight, and then we're not hidden anymore. And then an enemy unit attacks the hidden unit's hex and scores a recon by fire, whatever that may be. So place revealed units becoming hidden. A non-hidden unit may take a 5 AP hidden move action to become hidden. It must be able to move and be out of all non-hidden enemy line of sight. So obviously we can't just hide if we're in his line of sight. But we're starting hidden here, so it's not. We don't have to go back to hidden. Once we're revealed, we could let it go. But we could do that as well. Right, move while hidden. All hidden units may move or group move for 5 AP. Yikes! So it's not. You see, that's just the same. Give me a sec. Yeah, to be honest, there is quite a big. It looks like they've changed this quite a bit, because it doesn't mention the wheeled or tracked movement line of sight thing in the old rules. It says units hidden in open terrain hexes stay hidden until an enemy unit moves within 2 hexes of their hex and has clear line of sight. Hidden unburdened foot unit movement. Hidden unburdened foot units. What does that mean? 1.1. Unit types. Unburdened foot units refer specifically to foot units that have a red movement cost of 2 APs or less. Yeah, so that's everybody really. So it's saying here they may move and remain hidden. Hidden movement adds +3 APs movement cost penalty when moving. So that's different as well, isn't it? Because +3 to their normal 1 is only 4, whereas it's saying in the new rules all hidden units may group move or group move for 5 AP. And then when moving into cover terrain and movement cost penalty when moving into cover terrain and +6 AP movement cost penalty when moving into non-cover terrain. Eh? Alright. Well, that's actually better to move then. 5 is better. Because it's saying it may move and remain hidden. Hidden movement adds +3 APs movement cost penalty when moving into cover terrain. So, if I was moving from here to here, it would cost me. Well, it cost me a +3 penalty on top of the. He costs 3 to move. Well, he's not an unburdened foot unit then, is he? If his movement's more than 2. So I don't know what he is. I don't know what he comes under. Right, I'm going to stick with these 3rd edition rules for this when we're looking at this. I'm going to just try and get into them more, and I need to get them printed out, really. Or I need to have my tablet with me at all times, I think. Right, I'm going to do that. We're going to stick with this 3rd edition rules. And see how we go. So hidden foot units may move into a hex in enemy line of sight and remain hidden if the hex is... Sorry, I skipped a bit there. All hidden units may move or group move for 5 AP. They remain hidden if they stay out of enemy line of sight for the entire move. Okay. Hidden foot units may move into a hex in enemy line of sight and remain hidden if the hex is open terrain more than 2 hexes from the enemy, concealing terrain not in the same hex as the enemy. That's contradicting something, is it not? So hang on. A hidden unit must be revealed when wheeled or tracked units occupy open terrain in line of sight of any enemy. I'm reading that wrong. I'm reading it wrong. I'm thinking it was them that needs to... It's if we had a wheeled or tracked unit in open terrain, then it would be any range, line of sight. However, it's all foot units we've got. I'm guessing this is still classed as, but I might have a look at that, because it's got a movement of 3. Yeah, it's a mortar. Is that not just like because it's kind of to move it about and that? So foot units occupy open terrain in line of sight and within 2 hexes of any enemy. Okay, that's right. I've read that wrong. Well, just as well caught that one then. So maybe the 2nd edition rules are right with that, or when I say right, they're the same. I'll stick with this anyway, because I do want to transform over to this anyway, you know. Yeah, and as long as they're moving into concealing terrain, you know, I can move from here to here, and as long as they're not in the hex, I wouldn't be revealed. They could be 2 hexes away, but I'd be fine because I'm in concealing terrain, you know. But that does cost 5 AP to make that move. If a hidden unit fails its spent check when performing a hidden move, rally or stall action remains hidden, mark the unit spent. Recon by fire, I'm not going to look at that. And then there's some examples. Okay, well, it's maybe not as complex as I thought. So I don't think we want to be doing an awful lot of moving about with them, though, because at a 5 AP cost, we only want to move if it's absolutely essential, you know. Right, something else we have access to, obviously, is the mines and smoke. Smoke is used to create a screen to cover a unit's position and movement. When smoke is fired, a +2 DM smoke counter is placed in the target hex. Line of sight and fire attacks may originate and end in a 2 DM smoke hex, but may not pass through it. So, obviously, that is to allow us to maybe stay hidden, and yeah, well, we can basically create blocking hexes, can't we? I'm not sure I see. And at the beginning of every round, all 2 DM smoke counters are flipped to their 1 DM side, and all 1 DM smoke counters are removed from the map. Yeah, I suppose they give you an extra modifier and they block line of sight. There's a 1 DM block line of sight as well. These counters partially obscure line of sight, but do not block it. Units may see and fire through a +1 DM smoke hex. Units receive +1 to all fire originating, ending, or passing through the +1 DM smoke hex. Smoke effects are cumulative. Yeah, okay. And then the mine, well, the mines as in lay a mine and kind of hope that it comes over it, I think. I don't think there's anything in the soul rules that I noticed regarding any mention of how mines maybe work, but maybe I'm wrong. No, I don't see anything there, so Hang on. Yeah, and it's annoying because I'm looking at the second edition rule here because it's easier to flick through a book than it is to like look on a tablet every time. So we might end up muddling things up here a little bit, but there you go. Right, landmines may be placed on any hex, openly or hidden, as specified by the firefight. If a unit moves onto a hidden mine, a mine counter is placed in that hex. Mines attack enemy or friendly units immediately after the units move into a mined hex or take any action other than firing, rallying, or spotting for artillery. Units moving out of a mine hex are not affected by the mines. If a new unit moves into a mined hex with an existing unit in it, only the new unit is affected by the mine attack. When an enemy unit moves onto a mine, the mine owner rolls 2d6, which may be modified with caps. On a 2d6 result equal to or lower or greater than 8, the unit is hit. Okay, terrain and fortification DMs do not affect mine attacks. Okay, so that is a good way of us maybe hitting one of the tanks, I suppose, because that if they were to roll over that, we could put 2 caps into that and roll 2 dice, and we would hit on a 6 or greater. So that's it. But we've got to get the tank to roll over that. And the mines need to be laid in the hex, isn't it? Don't know what it says. Tank hunter may pay the cost to attack in order to lay a mine in its hex. A hidden tank hunter may lay a mine without revealing itself if it is not in line of sight of the AI. If it's not in line of sight, tank hunter may lay a mine without revealing itself. That's going to be hard to do. I mean, I can't. That's just saying it needs to be in line of sight. That doesn't talk about it being within 2 hexes. So if that was hidden, because I thought the army could have potentially sort of sit there. I'm 3 hexes away from them. I could start there, lay a mine in that hex, but I'm in their line of sight. It's not saying I need to be in line of sight and within 2, does it? A hidden tank hunter may lay a mine without revealing itself if it is not in line of sight of the AI. I wonder if that's taken into the two hexes though. I had a look on BGG. There's one question about, somebody asked about the tank hunter laid mines, and he was still in that hex, but he laid hidden mines, and then a tank moved and then revealed him. Do the mines get revealed? And the answer was no. I also got confirmed that the tank hunters that was a mistake. They are in the, well, they obviously are in the base game, because that's what I've got. They're not in the monster expansion thing. So yeah, I've got to just assume that as written. But then, hang on. I mean, is this in line of sight? If this is a hidden unit, and I want to lay a mine here, these are not in our line of sight, are they? Because they're 3 away. Is that not what that's meaning then? Because the only other way I was thinking, we would have to find, maybe lay smoke into here, or, you know, if I laid smoke. But then if I laid smoke there, they would still be in line of sight. I think you've got to take the 2 hex consideration into that then, haven't you? The tank hunter may pay the cost to attack in order to lay a mine in its hex. A hidden tank hunter may lay a mine without revealing itself if it is not in line of sight of the AI. So when that says it's not in line of sight of the AI, does that mean the 2 hex line of sight? That's what I'm struggling with here, I think. Okay, I was thinking about maybe asking the question about this line of sight, but I figure if it's okay that I can do that, then these tanks are going to move towards this, and as soon as one of them move into there, we're going to be revealed, because we're going to be in the open. Okay, the mine's going to be hidden still, which is quite good. But we're going to be revealed, and I think I want to try and avoid that. So I'll maybe not do any of that mindly and stuff. Right, where are we going to put our guys then? So the wagon's going to come up here. I think we need to try and drop smoke to try and mess about the tanks, because the tanks will avoid, because they've got 2 extra bonus moves, they'll avoid going into the smoke, because the smoke acts the same as what, like a wooden or stone, well, it's acts the same as a stone building, doesn't it? Because it gives a +2, it blocks line of sight. But then when we do that, remember, they won't do it in a low risk move. If it's a normal move, they would do it, but they lose all their bonus moves. So I think they try and avoid that if they can. Obviously, if they're trying to move towards this and they move into smoke, it's going to stop them. Or they could move round about. Maybe they would take the move round about, I think. Okay, so who is it? It's the Pioneers and the Mortar. Right, we've not even looked at Mortar either. Got a range 3 to 16 hexes. Right, I'm going to have to look at that, because what is the 4 in brackets, I wonder? Because it costs the 3 to fire, but the 4 must mean something. Maybe it's a depending on how far you're firing. So we can place them. I just want to get this going now. Where are we going? Row 9. On or south of row 9. Right, let me think here. Yeah, I'm just reading the conditions for smoke as well. Pioneers in the Mortar may fire smoke. A hidden unit may fire smoke without revealing itself if it is not in line of sight of the AI. But I'm assuming that is the same then. So as long as this is in a hidden hex, then even if this was 2 away, I'm thinking we could fire smoke without being revealed. I think. Yeah? Let's see. Hidden. Few units occupy open terrain line of sight and within 2 hits. Yeah, so if we're in concealing terrain, helps a moving foot unit remain hidden even if adjacent to an opponent. Heavy smoke in any terrain, defensive terrain. Hidden foot units may move into a hex in enemy line of sight and remain hidden if the hex is concealing terrain or open terrain more than 2 hexes. Yeah, I think that's what it's meaning. So I think we can fire smoke in here and still remain hidden, unless the unit's on top of us. Yeah? Are you sure, Grant? I'm pretty sure that's what it must mean, the way it's talking about. Right. Okay, so I think I'll put one of these. I thought maybe put the Mortar. I don't know. The thing is, we don't need a facing for these if they're hidden. I just want to try and see if we can help this wagon come up the road and go off. So I want to be able to fire smoke from there as well. Right, I've not really got a clue what I'm doing. I'm going to go for something like this, I think. Now, this 4 was for indirect fire, which means I could fire over blocking line of sight, I think. Because this is a range is like 3 to 16. Oh, it's 3's the minimum, Grant, isn't it? Yeah, I probably don't want him there then. Hang on. I might actually put the Mortar over there then. I was just looking in line of sight. I think there's a way, because I say that indirect fire, but I mean he can fire right down. I think he can squeeze. No, maybe he can't. Past that hex. Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't probably get into that hex, could I? No, that's crossing that building. But into that hex there, You know, you could fire into here if there was a requirement for smoke there, and he's in the cover hex. So I put him there. I've got my two pioneers here, here, and here, and then we've got this tank hunter here. Because we could put the mine. I don't want to put the mine because the wagon will go over the mine as well. So if I put on that road, yeah, I think I'll maybe just skip the mine part or see how it goes. Yeah, so all these are in cover. So if my understanding's right, these are all going to stay hidden, unless they're all going to stay hidden in the hexes, unless now do I want to cover them up with that? I'd probably prefer putting one underneath, I think, or is it something else I can just mark it on top with? There we go, that's better. There's some wee blue cubes. That doesn't really cover any information as well, so that's just to say that these units are hidden then. Yeah, I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I've got no strategy here at all. My remembering is to try and lay smoke down. I remember that, but I'm just not really sure where to start, to be honest. Because we're going to get the most of our points. The only points we can get 3 points for killing these tanks, but that is not easy. So the other way we get points is our wagons leaving the map, and we get the chance of 3 points in there. So I mean, we've only got a total of 6 points to try and gather, but then they only get points for eliminating our wagons. So we've got to try and protect the wagons. And yes, putting smoke down will help with that. Right, okay. Right, and I think we want to stay hidden. What a good idea would be is try and stay hidden until a tank's maybe spent, and maybe then have a go and try and get into close combat with it. Use up 2 caps, and we do have the grenades card. We do have that bogged down card as well. Is that not something we should maybe use right away? Possibly. Well, maybe not. Maybe see how they get moving first. Okay. Right, okay, let's get started. So I was just looking, and these are probably the 2 little holes a gap we want to plug. So I'm thinking, because if we put smoke in there, the tanks can't get through there. You know, they'll try and go round about, I think. I'll need to just double check on that again, because they don't want to move into, in fact, stone buildings. Hang on, actually, can they even move into the stone building? Don't think they can they? You would have thought a tank could squeeze into a stone building, would you? So it's plus 3 APs. It's got an exclamation mark, which my guess is check for mobilization. Okay. Well, I'm kind of thinking there might be something in the solo rules that tell them that they're not going to do that as well. Well, you know what, Grant? Can we not just get on with it and wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. This is just my solo rules. 5.4 multiple hex moves. AI vehicles eligible to take bonus moves determine the movement risk based on the last hex they move into. Okay, we've been over that. AI vehicles with bonus moves will attempt to flank a player's units before entering into close combat. AI vehicles will not move into a hex that restricts their bonus movement unless the vehicle is executing a low risk move. So if it's just a normal movement, they won't even move into, like, we're including smoke here as well. A tank will not move into a stone building hex or any other hex that could potentially immobilize them. They also will not move into a mined hex unless ordered to do so in the mission. Right, obviously if we had a hidden mine it wouldn't know it was there, but... Right, so there you go. So it won't move into stone buildings. So, again, we're just trying to sort of make this area a no-go area, and maybe we can get some smoke in here, and then they can't get in here at all, and this wagon can maybe get up through here. Between there and there, it's... Well, I say it's on its own. We can try and put smoke down here, you know, to cover it on its way. So I think it's all about putting some smoke down. Now, the Pioneers have got a range of 3... I wonder if I want one of these Pioneers up here, because if it's coming up here, this guy can go 1, 2, 3. He could way smoke up to there. However, if we had somebody here, that could then, well, no, I think between these last two hexes, the guy's probably going to have to be on his own. What is that up there? That's not blocking line of sight though, is it? I don't know what terrain that is. This is like some kind of field stuff, isn't it? It's like a garden, isn't it? Like somebody's garden. Oh, no, I'm assuming that doesn't really do anything. Yeah. Yeah, I just wonder if I maybe should have one of the Pioneers then further up. 1, 2, 3. Let me think. I think we'll take our chances with that. Can the tank hunter do smoke as well? No. Pioneers in the mortar. But see, yeah, he's got a range of 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, he can fire right along there with smoke if he wanted. Yeah, okay. I'll leave it as is. Right, come on, Grant, move. Right, so, well, I want to try and fire smoke into here, I think. Because at the moment, I would say these two tanks are wanting to come down and they'll go through this gap to get... I mean, their target's going to be the wagon, remember? So that's where they're going to head for. If this guy was to move, he might come round this way. So I want smoke in here, and I kind of want smoke in here, but I think this is the one to go for. So I'm going to use this guy at the back. That is my initiative, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to use him to fire smoke into here. He's got a range of 3, that's 2 away. So it's a cost of 2, and there's just, yeah, well, I haven't done this. How does it? Here we go again. Again, do I use my second edition rulebook or do I look on the tablet? We'll look at the rulebook just now. So rule 13. Well, stop. I was just about to move on there. I thought, right, yeah, just automatically. But it says here, Pioneer units may only place smoke counters in their own hex or 1 hex away. And it references rule 19. Well, just as well spot that then. Pioneers were specially trained units outfitted. Pioneers reveal hidden mines when moved on, but do not trigger an attack from them. Pioneers can fire plus 2 DM smoke up to 1 hex distance. Oh, okay. It didn't say anything like that in the special rules, did it? Just said Pioneers and mortar may fire smoke. Oh. No. Right, fine. Right, well, sorry, I might need to change things again then. Because this guy can fire smoke into here, he can fire smoke into here. They're the 2 important bits. So I can only fire 1 hex away. Well, I might move this guy then. Oh, I'm just going to leave him back there. Because the good thing is, he can move and stay hidden. Mind you, that movement cost, doesn't it? It's like, what is it, 5? Well, yeah, okay, I'm just going to leave it where it is. This is dragging on a bit. Okay, so I'm going to use this guy then to fire smoke into here. So it's a cost of 2, and I'm going to need more of the counters, Grant. I better get some more of the smoke counters. Just got one of them lying there. Cost of 2, and we're just going to put smoke down in here. No. Well, I don't know. Do I want it on the road? Maybe I do. Right, get a bunch of smoke counters. There we go. I don't know if I want it on the road or not. If I want it on the road, I think I want it not on the road, because if it's on the road, I think the tank might move into it. I mean, it might move into it there as well, Grant. If it was low risking, wouldn't it? And the only benefit to being on the road would be the wagon would go through it and get the defensive modifier. No, I think I'll leave it there. I get the feeling I'm going to play this scenario and then realise there's a much better way to have done it. It's one of the ones I think you could do with playing once and then having a look at it. He's not writing that hex, is he? That's it. I've just got them facing like that, because remember, they don't have a facing while they're hidden. As soon as they become revealed, I need to point them in a direction. I think that's right anyway. Right, so we're going to do that. So we need a bench. It's cost him 2 to do that. So yeah, I'm going to take a check on a 2. And we got a 3, so it's close. But all good. Right, so now over to them. Right, let's see what's going to happen here then. So we draw a card. We get a blue card, so it's not going to cost them anything to do anything. So there's no close combat, there's no short range. Highest firepower, remember that should be attack rate now. But yeah, I'm just going to read what's on the card really, but they compare each other just exactly the same, I think. I don't know what the reason, and there's obviously a good reason for them to do it, change it, but anyway. Highest firepower AI, closest to a fresh hit unit, fire plus 2 caps. Right, remember that all these are hidden. The only unit that they can consider is this. They don't have line of sight to this, because all this is blocking line of sight. And even though they've got a range of 8, the tanks, it's not quite reaching anyway. There's not a line of sight through. So they can't fire. So we've got largest group of AIs closest to a mission objective or spent unit move towards. That's interesting, because none of them ended up being in a group, but they could have done going with the die rolls if they'd been adjacent. So it's going to be one of them closest to a mission objective or spent unit move towards. So this is their well, this counts as a mission objective. It's not a spent unit, but it counts as a mission objective. So that's our target. One of them is going to move towards that. So it's the one that's going to be closest to that. So let me count out the hexes. Right, so they're all 9 hexes away. So so if there's more than one eligible eye that is closest to or furthest from a target, we use the unhit unit first. They're all unhit, and then the one that has the lowest movement cost. Well, they're all the same with that as well. So we randomly choose between the 3. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to roll. You might just see this in the corner. Yeah, we do actually. That's maybe quite good if I could leave that there. Maybe be able to see that and I'll not have to move the camera. I do like to zoom in on the action a bit though, once we get, see the numbers and that a bit up close. So that was a 3. So it's the middle guy. Right, so he's going to move towards this. And remember, he's got a movement of 3. So I mean, you can say 1, 2, 3, so you can reach this hex, or this hex, and they would all be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away, my guess. So you can reach each one of the 3 hexes. But remember, whenever he reaches, I mean, if he comes to this one, he's not then. Well, he could end up with a low risk move, and he would move into there. Remember. He would never move into a stone building though, so there's no risk of that. But he would move into the smoke, I think. So if there's a choice of hexes, I think it's just going to be a random, isn't it? If the eligible AI can move into more than one hex, fewest number of hexes away from the target. Like I say, I think they're all. That one, that one, that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're all 6 hexes away, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Then that is not within a fire zone. Well, there's nothing that we're showing that's firing at them, so all of them are in a fire. Has highest DN cost. Well, they're all open hexes. That is closer to the target's flank, and then random. I don't know. I mean, the way the wagon's facing, you could say that was closer to his flank. It's not really, is it? It's not, no, I think we need to be a bit closer to decide if we're closer to his flank or not. So I think I'll just randomise between the 3. I don't think it really matters. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I like I say, it doesn't take into account that the smoke's there, regarding like it might, the fact that it can't just move through there. Normally it's going to have to come round down this road maybe, but it doesn't consider that, I don't believe. Yeah, I'm going to go random. I don't think any one of them are close to. Right, so we've got 5. Well, it is going to be this hex along here then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. Well, I suppose his facing would go that way, really. Because he's like wanting to keep that, and he's. That doesn't mean he's going to back up his next move. Well, he might go that way though, because I'm going to lay smoke there anyway. So yeah, I'll leave him pointing that way. It seems more logical to sort of say, let's point him that way, because that's still in his arc of fire, and he's more than likely wanting to come this way rather than go reverse a hex, And remember, these are stone buildings, so he won't move into them. But I think, going by how it says it, we're not really looking at what he's going to do next. So that was it. It was a command order card, so he doesn't need to check to be spent. Doesn't need to do a spent check. So that is that. So now, I did check, didn't I, for my spent check? Yeah, I drew a 3. Right, I think I'm going to drop smoke in there as well then, so we'll get this Pioneer to do that. And in we go, and we do a check on a... Now, see, the other thing there is, we could just go for it right now, move into that hex with one of the Pioneers, obviously would become revealed, and next turn, if we were still there, we would be able to have a 7 against the 15. A 7 attack against the 15. But if this guy was spent, yeah, I would go for it. But we're going to have to get lucky and draw some 1s to get them spent. Remember, they're only moving on a 1, and they're unlikely to be moving into terrain that's going to cost them, well, I suppose they would move into woods and that, wouldn't they? Yeah, but I mean, if I try and attack him there, I'm getting a 3 to a 19. So I need 16, so that's impossible. So yeah, I'll just drop the smoke, I think, and we'll check on a 2 again. We draw a 5, so that's good. Right, and then back to them. So we draw another command order. Great. So fire, hang on. Yeah, that's right, that's fine. I was just checking counter actions on that last card, there wasn't. So, although it looks like we're in short range, we're not, because remember these are hidden units, and I know he's within 2 of us, but remember we're in a terrain that's going to keep us hidden, basically. Yeah. So execute counter actions. Well, if all German units on the map are hidden, AI passes and +1 at the timer. Well, remember, wagons are not hidden, and we do have a wagon in that. So no counter actions. Highest firepower AI closest to a fresh hit unit. Well, there's none of that, and he still can't fire anyway. None of them can fire. Fresh mobile AI. Mobile means it means a movement cost of, I want to say less than 2, isn't it? 2 or less. Fresh mobile AI closest to a mission objective or spent unit move towards. Right, so this guy's wanting to move towards the mission objective, which is the wagon. So here we go. So he can move 3 again, but he's not going to move into the smoke. Well, let me just confirm. Well, I think I did confirm that, didn't I? Too much stuff to look at. Right, pause the now. Okay. I've just realised that because it's a command order card, that actually says AI vehicles will not move into a hex that prevents bonus movement and costs more than 1 AP unless the vehicle is executing a low-risk move. Well, it's not. It's just a normal move. Or executing a command order card, because it doesn't require APs. So we know it won't go in a stone building, but in actual fact... But the problem here is, I don't think... It can only move 1 hex, and then it's got 2 bonus move hexes. So if it moves 1... It can't then bonus move into this hex because it's not allowed to use bonus movements. And if I find smoke, has it got smoke in here? Yeah, it has. It says, well, right, hold on. Right, it doesn't cost any more to move into there, but no wheeled or trapped bonus moves are allowed into this hex type. So, yeah, so even though it would move into there, because it's a command action. Well, hang on. All vehicles will not move into hex that prevents bonus movement and costs more than 1 AP. Well, it doesn't cost more than 1 AP, Grant. I need to know what I'm doing here, I think. Well, just while I'm looking at that, move backwards. Backwards movement negates vehicle bonus movement. Oh, I didn't know that. I think I might have wrongly moved that aft track in the last mission then. I'm sure I backed him up 1. So if you have to back up, you're not going to be able to... Well, that's also spoiling it for him if he was to go that way then, isn't it? Because that is... Well, hang on. Yeah, that is going backwards, isn't it? I'm starting to doubt myself now. Yeah, it is. That's going forwards. That's going forwards, that's going forward, that's going forwards. But that would be back, the hexes there. So, although it doesn't mind going in there, it can't go in there because of the bonus movement. It doesn't get bonus movement for moving in there. So 1, 2, 3, if it could come round to here. Basically, it can go here, here, or around here, I think. Or potentially, I suppose it could only move 2 and go there, but it's going to try and get as close as possible. So I think it probably is going to go at that hex, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in a minute. Right, back. So, yeah, I think this is a strange one because although he would move into this hex, so if he was here, I think he would move into that hex. Because it doesn't cost anything extra. Oh, hang on. Yeah, AI vehicles will not move into a hex that prevents bonus movement and costs more than 1 AP. Well, it's not costing more than 1 AP because the smoke doesn't do that. I mean, it just... Oh, and when it reduces to 1 DM smoke, it doesn't prevent the bonus moves as well. But while it's 2, it does prevent bonus moves. So, yeah, but I think if it was adjacent to it, it would move into that hex. And then next turn, it'd be free to then come through here, wouldn't it? Okay, I think we're going to have to maybe just blunder through this scenario a wee bit and hopefully hope we're getting it right, to be honest. It'll be good to know for the... I did think when I started playing this, I thought, well, I'll just start with the campaign, you know, because that's where the real exciting stuff starts, you know, into the campaign. But I thought, why not play through these as well? It's been a while since I played them. So, and then my guess is that the scenarios are... I want to say there's only 4 scenarios, then you get the campaign. I think that's right. Maybe 5? I think it's only 4. And then you move on to the campaign. So, but they're probably going to sort of bring new rules in as you go. Because if you look at... I think, does it not tell you can start playing mission 1 after you've read so many rules and things like that? Anyway, right. So, I think we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and probably turn his facing like that then. Because that's him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's him, out of all the hexes, that's him closer to this. Even, I mean, as the crow flies anyway. I mean, he's still got to go around. But that's not what's counted, I don't think. And the thing is, he's in this hex. If he gets a move towards a gain, well, 1, 2, 3. The thing is, he might be able to get down to there. Whereas I'm saying he'll go in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He might not, because that would get him closer. Okay, let's do a spent check on a 1. That would be nice to see. Oh, there you... Oh, no. Right, I need to shuffle the deck then, don't I? Because we know what that is. It was a command card grant. He doesn't need a spent check. Right, I'm going to have to shuffle. I won't shuffle the discards, but because we looked at that top card, I'll just shuffle the deck that's left. Yeah, that was me. That would have been great, like, but it would have also been illegal. Because he didn't need to take a check. Okay, so what do we do now then? I feel like I'd like to plug a hole here now, but I don't think I can. What about that mortar? Can it go fire into here maybe? Maybe. Right, let's have a look at the mortar rules then. Right, so mortar rules, indirect attacks, because I think that's what we would need, because we've not got line of sight to this hex, because that building stretches out. So an indirect attack, a valid target hex for an indirect attack must be within the mortar's unit's arc of fire. Well, that can be, remember these are hidden, so it can be facing any direction. At least I'm assuming that's right. It did say, yeah, it does say that hidden units don't have a facing, so yeah. And then it's within line of sight of a mortar spotter hex, which is rule 13.3, right? We'll come to that in a minute. Not closer than the mortar unit's minimum range. Ooh, It's 3 in it. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's just bang on. So the spotter hex for indirect line of sight, select any hex that is within 2 hexes and clear line of sight of the mortar unit to be its spotter hex. So that would have to be 1, 2. That's got a clear line of sight to there. Could that be its spotter hex? That would do, yeah. I'm assuming that then needs to have a line of sight to the target hex. Is that right? For an indirect attack, a mortar unit establishes line of sight and any elevation combat bonus. What? From its spotter hex rather than from its own hex. Oh, I see, if that was on a hill or something. You must get bonuses to how high you are. We've not come across any of that yet. We're all on the same elevation, aren't we? A mortar unit always uses its own hex to determine whether target hex is within minimum maximum range. Yeah. Hidden mortars making indirect attacks remain hidden if they are not in line of sight of any enemy units. Well, I'm going to again go with that one that he's in cover hex, so he's fine. Yeah, so I think that can work. We can use that as a spotter hex for that as the target hex and fire smoke into there. And the indirect number, that's a 4. So we're risking the direct is the 3, so it's slightly worse using the indirect. Okay, but I think that makes sense to do because we need to slow this tank down from coming through here. So I'm going to fire smoke into here. And we'll do a spent check on a 4. Well, he's kind of done his job now, so... Well, we'd prefer him to stay up, though. That's not to be. Another 1. I did shuffle that, by the way. That was a 1 command order card again. Right, so he's spent. Still hidden, but spent. Right, and then over to them again now. Right, reshuffle deck after action. No close combat, no short range. Execute counter actions. Well, and then we're going to apply because we've got a wagon on the board. Hit AI closest to unit. Rally. There's nothing hit. Highest firepower AI from a unit that just acted. Fire plus 2 caps. No. AI furthest from a unit that just acted or mission objective. Right, that's mission objective. Low risk move towards. Haha, great. Okay, so he's going to low risk move towards this. Right, let's try and work this one out then. So it's not a blue card, but that does mean that he would move into there, doesn't it? Well, no, I've already decided that because that rule doesn't really come into it. The one I've been reading, the AI vehicles will not move into hex that prevents bonus movement. It costs more than 1 AP, because that doesn't cost more than 1 AP. It would only cost 1 AP for him to move in there. It still stops his bonus movement. But then we had, unless the vehicle is executing a low risk move or executing a command card. But I don't think that stops him moving in anyway. So I think we're just going to carry a low risk move here. Thing is, I get the feeling it might still be that he comes down here, because that's going to be getting closer and it's going to keep him cover. Whereas if he moves into there, well, that's a +2 DM hexo as well, isn't it? But if he moves in there, he's going to stop and he's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Whereas if he moves in there, he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So I'm pretty sure that's where he's going to go. Let us have a look. Whereas, yeah, that's what we're going for. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm right in my thinking here. At first I started thinking he will move into there because it's a +2 DM hex, but normal movement, the AI will move into the hex that is the fewer number hexes from the target. So between that and that, this is going to be the fewer number of hexes from the target, right? So then when we look at low risk, it says if the AI is not in a fire zone, which it is not, the AI will move into another non-fire zone hex. That would be a non-fire zone hex, admittedly, but so would that. And the fact that that is closer, I think that's where it goes. So I think he goes 1, 2, and he can't obviously use his bonus movement to move into there. Right, okay. And again, that costs on 1. We're going to reshuffle the deck in a second. Right, we've run far too many 1s now for get another one, haven't we? Oh, it's a 2 as well. No, command card. Oh, they're just about shuffling though. So he stays fresh again. We shuffle the deck up. We're not really getting. We're not stopping him anyway. He's going to move into that hex this time, and the wagon's still not moved, unfortunately. I'm not sure what to do next then. Well, yeah, I could move. Thing is, if I move, I was thinking I could move this Pioneer down, but if I move it down to there, as soon as he moves into there, oh no, I'd be through. But remember, it's like 5 APs to make the move. And what am I going to achieve there? I'm not, because I mean, if I put smoke in the air, it's not really going to stop him from, I don't know. I can't remember how I played this before, to be honest. It definitely looks like one you could do a bit of practice at. I was just saying there, it says, yeah, that they definitely are different from 3rd edition to 2nd edition regarding the movement. It used to cost 6 APs to move, and now it's 5, I believe. But it says ignore terrain move penalties. So I started wondering if if it was 5 and I was moving into this building still, but it wouldn't add another 1, so it would just be 5. Also took note of the fact that heavy smoke counts for, I never thought about it, we can move into heavy smoke and stay hidden. But then, yeah, so I mean I could fire heavy smoke in there and then maybe try and move into it. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing, to be honest. Let's try that. Let's fire some heavy smoke into here. I'm pretty sure I'm making a mess of this, to be honest. I've not really got a plan. I mean, eventually that tank's... No, he's just going to make a mess of that wagon, and that'll be that. What can I do? Suppose might need to take a chance and move towards the tank and... well, how about I put that smoke in there and then come down, because that's a wood building. So moving into that would keep me hidden. Yeah, I don't know. Well, he's going to probably move into that next turn, and the next turn he's going to fire at the wagon, isn't he? But I mean, even getting into his flank and getting adjacent would be 6 against 15. That is doable, isn't it? Especially when you spend 2 caps. But I need to get into his flank. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should be trying to move this guy around. The fact is, I'm going to be checking on 5 APs. It's going to be hard to stay fresh, isn't it? Unless I just reveal myself. that's maybe something to think about. It does say a player can reveal a hidden unit when at will, you know. I think I might do that with this guy. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to reveal this guy, and he's going to move one into there. Now, is that worth possibly spending a cap on? Because I'd hate to get caught now spent there. He's likely to move into there next. If he was in there, I don't think he would have line of sight to that, would he? That looks like that crosses, like from that hex to that hex. Let me try and get this right. Alright. Right, you need to do it from above, Grant, I think. Need a steady hand. I think that's hitting, isn't it? It's quite close, actually. I don't know, it looks like it's just hitting the edge. I don't think that is hitting, is it? Remember, it's the actual hex we're looking at, not the... No, that's... what am I talking about? That's going right through the spine, isn't it? Yeah, I'm talking rubbish. So that you would have line of sight there. Sorry. So I kind of need to get... Well, would he fire at me? He would, wouldn't he? What do I think? I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to move this guy across. So I've revealed him. I'm moving him across. I mean, maybe he can put down smoke. If he puts smoke in this hex, with that should cover him, I think. So we'll see what that guy does, and then maybe lay some smoke in there. Right, so am I spending a cap on that? I think I really should. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to spend a cap. So we had 6. I've now got 5, so that I don't need a spend check on that. Okay. Right, give me a sec. Right, I'm just looking. That's just about an hour and a half. This has been a bit clunky. This part as well. I might put some comment in the header. I think just getting the scenario started can be a bit like that. And obviously I'm trying to do things that I'm not remembering how it all works. Right, I'll have one more activation for the AI then. So I always like to leave it with my turn next, so that well, if you keep doing that, then when you come back, you know it's your turn. So let's draw a card for them then. And we're going to check the spent number down the bottom just in case that was a 3. We would have got away, but I command order card again. So no close combat, no short range, no execute counter actions. Well, we've got a non-hidden unit now as well. I mean, I could have kept him hidden, but I would have been checking on a 5. And I wouldn't have spent 5 caps, and I would have drawn that, and he would have been spent right there. And he's kind of in the open. So as soon as that guy got within 2 hexes of him, he comes revealed. That might have been... I suppose that might have been a little bit away, but I don't know. It's anyway, we've done it now. So highest firepower AI, closest to fresh hit unit fire, no. Hit AI, no. Largest group of mobile AIs closest to a mission objective or spent unit, move towards. Right, so mission objective, largest group of mobile AI, closest, well, it is going to be that guy, because he is closest. And he's just as large a group as the other 2 single units. So move towards, so there's not a... Oops. Again, another command card, so he's not even going to take a check here. So... But, like the fact I've just been reading, I think he's going to move into this. Now he will lose his bonus movement, but yeah, that's the way I'm seeing it. So he moves in there. Doesn't need a spent check. That's him. Now he's in a defensive hex. I wanted to say that if he was to fire from there, which he will have line of sight from there, won't he? Excuse me. Yeah, that's going to be fine. It's just this is a wooden building hex here. But why is something telling me that they get a minus to their smoke? +2 DM or higher blocks all line of sight and negates bonus moves. Right, sorry I was distracted there again. I'm just going to get this wrapped up, I think. It's an hour, let's say an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, I think I was trying to find out about, I thought I'd read somewhere that they've got a penalty for attacking out of a smoke hex. And but it looks like this has maybe just been brought in with the 3rd edition. Because I'm not seeing it in the 2nd edition rules. In the 3rd edition it says, heavy smoke effects, you get a +2 defense rating smoke bonus when defending in a hex with heavy smoke. You get a -2 attack rating smoke penalty when attacking out of a hex with heavy smoke. So there's something ringing a bit of a bell about that maybe that was something that they brought in. Because I remember there being a lot of talk. I don't think it was this mission that I had to well, hang on. I don't see anything that puts any restriction on shooting out of a smoke hex within the 2nd edition. So I'm wanting to say that that's something that that they've added, unless I'm just not seeing it. And something rings a bell about there being some, maybe that was some errata that they brought in. Possibly. Right, well we're going to go with what it says in the 3rd edition, and I know you may be shaking your head saying, well, you're jumping between one and the other, but I'm really trying to find the balance between the two here, and yeah, because they got a -1 for attacking out of a hex with light smoke as well. But that's definitely, I don't see it in the 2nd edition rules that I've got anyway. So okay, well we're going to go with that. So he's moved into there, doesn't need a spent check. It only cost him 1 to move that anyway, and that was just a move towards. So now he does have the wagon in his line of sights. We're out in the open here. He does have a line of sight on us as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He can fire at both of us. I should really stop, but I'm quite keen to see because nothing really exciting's happened yet, and we're just about to hit something, I think. But I think I'm probably going to put smoke down. Now, does it matter which hex? So yeah, we know. Yeah, we know he can fire into that hex. Well, actually, it needs to be that hex to put the smoke in, doesn't it? Putting it in there doesn't do me any good. That's right, eh? Yeah, okay, so I'm going to drop smoke in there, and then he's not got line of sight on me. No, hang on. He's not got line of sight on me. He's turreted, Grant. He's turreted, so he can. You've got to. I mean, he'd probably take the shot on the wagon rather than that anyway, but because his facing can be any 360 degrees. So yeah, I'm going to put smoke in there. So I'll do this, and we'll have one last turn. So I put the smoke in there, and then Yeah, and then he can't fire at me. So, and then we do a check on a 2. And we're good. A nice 6. So yeah, so it's his turn now again. So let's just do this and draw a card and see what we get. If AI plus units is less than 4, it will not be. No, it's not. Yeah, I think the fact our units are hidden does not matter anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it would have said that they weren't part of. Yeah, I've not read any of that. A rumoured enemy in the last mission we had. No, it wasn't the last mission. It was the other. I was watching. Some of the scenarios, they don't count the rumoured enemy. So no, and then there's no close range or close combat or short range. Execute counter actions. Well, no. There's units on the map. Hit AI, no. Unhit AI closest to a fresh unit that just acted, fire. Well, no, because he's not got a line of sight on me. AI closest to a hit unit, fire plus 2 caps. So I'm glad he's not doing that one. Well, it's not hit. Execute mission orders. Now, what is that again? Oh, well. That's good for us. Mission orders are the T-34 furthest from the wagon, move towards wagon. Now, when I was reading the rules recently about furthest, it really throws you this. It's really deceiving. However, the words to it's not worded furthest. Furthest from its closest target. It's just worded furthest, because furthest from its closest target would actually be this unit, I think, because and that I struggle with that one, as maybe some others do as well, because you would think it was one of these guys up here that are furthest, but this one is only 3 away from its target, so that's the bit that comes into it. That's really a tough one to absorb. Where in the examples does it show you that one? I'd like to show that one right now. Now the wording on the instruction we're getting does not say that, so I'm pretty sure it is going to be one of these guys, because these are furthest. It's not saying furthest from closest or anything like that. Give me a sec. I can't find what I'm looking for here, but it is kind of a bit deceiving, that the instruction when it says furthest from closest target. It might just be, maybe it's a me thing, and maybe it's just me that finds that hard to understand and would think it would be one of these guys when I think it's actually this, because yeah, I'm trying to work. Is that right? Am I getting that right? I'm gonna have to look into that again. I came across it recently and it explained it to me, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's right. What was it? I just looked through the book there just now. I wonder if there's. Give me a second. I'm just getting bogged down trying to find this. I'm going to leave it for now. So, but the instruction is the T-34 tank that's furthest from the wagon, move towards the wagon, right? I'm pretty sure these are the same. I think we counted them already, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So, that's my battery going again. So one of these two is going to move towards the wagon. Yeah, so we're going to roll randomly. So 1, 2, 3 for that one. I've rolled the 1. So it's going to be that one, and he's going to move 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think so. That's fine. Yeah, okay. And we'll check on a 1. And he's fine. He's still fresh. Right, I think I'm going to have to leave it there because my battery's going as well. Right, so again, not the best starter to this scenario, but I was just trying to suss things out and whatever. I guess you're going to get that at the start of every one, unless I'd played this before recording it, But then that's time. I don't really want to play it and then record it. I only done that with the first one just to get me back into the swing of it, but I don't want to do that every scenario. So we'll just have to have that first episode that's a bit clunky, I think. And again, that might bring out. I'm a bit shaky with some of the rules out there, so hoping some of you guys out there that might watch it, maybe come on and watch it, that are really keyed up on the rules. And although I've said it is a simpler war game than some of the stuff I played, it's still quite tricky to get all these orders right. And as the missions go on, you can see that the change between the first mission and the second mission, there's big differences, and it's a bit more trickier to understand if we're doing things right. And every time you can draw one of the command cards, or and look at it and say, right, and it still can stump you, and you're like trying to work out what the best thing is, what the right thing is to do. Right, okay, I better leave it for now. Might get back a bit later to carry on a bit more. Hopefully that would be good, and hopefully I can start moving it along a bit, but it doesn't look great for us up to now, really. We've got this one in here. Well, I thought he was going to have a shot there, but because of the card, but it has brought another one of the T-34s down into play, so yeah, okay. Right, okay, I'll leave it for now, and I'll be back when I'm back. Okay, cheers.